photography, videography, cinematography. Whatever you play, it's a costly game. Starting out, one of the hardest things is building up an arsenal of gear, especially when it's all so expensive. Let's talk about lenses. £500, £1,000, £2,000, sometimes more. I get paying that for maybe one or even two lenses. But if you're shooting weddings, you need a range of lenses for different focal lengths, different apertures, maybe even different looks. But there is a way of buying decent glass for peanuts. Let me help you out. Welcome back, or should I say, Привет. I'm Darren Zane, and today we are looking at one of my favourite lenses, and it just so happens that it is by far the cheapest lens I have ever bought. Make some noise for the Helios 44-4. Now this is an old vintage Soviet lens manufactured between 1958 and 1992. Apparently, this particular model was manufactured in 1986 based on the fact that it starts with an 86 on the serial number. I don't know whether that's true, maybe someone can tell me. Now this lens is a 58mm 2.0 aperture, and it produces some of the most beautiful bokeh you will see. Now, I don't know if it's just my lens or if it's a common fault, but my aperture blades are stuck wide open. I've never been able to move them down away from 2.0 aperture. However, realistically, if you've bought this lens, you've bought it to have it wide open, and that's exactly what I have done. With that said, the image produced on this can be incredibly sharp if you catch the focus bang on. Now, I believe it was made to fit a Pentax camera, so unless you've got a Pentax camera, you will need an adapter. Now, I got a cheap adapter, maybe £5 or £10 from Amazon, put it on there, now can't get it off. Not a problem, I'll just leave it on there. Now, the lens itself, I bought from Amazon for I think about £55, £60. However, I've seen them for as little as £30 on eBay. I do have to mention a slight negative though. The lens is a bit clunky. It kind of does take a little bit of a grind and a shift to get round, and the focus pull is incredibly long. By the time I'm 35, if I'm only as clunky as this lens, I'll be delighted. Now typically, I tend to use this lens for the start of my wedding videos, where you've got the bride getting ready with her bridesmaids and sort of her mum, and you just want that kind of dreamy, light, airy, faded feel to it. Now what I will say though is you do get two different looks based on whether you use it on a full frame camera or on a crop censored camera. At the moment, I'm using a crop censored camera, which tends to punch in a little bit more to the center, and it does remove a little bit of that swirly bokeh from the edges. However, it's also a look that I enjoy. With that being said, if I was to start using a full frame camera, this bad boy will be on there quicker than you can say, lens! Another negative is, unless you've got an adapter that you can slot in before the lens, you can't use an ND filter. So it does mean that I can't use it outdoors. However, when I do use it, I'm generally using it slow motion, so the shutter speed is usually a little bit faster, and it does bring a little bit more darkness to the lens. Now, me personally, I understand exactly how expensive it is to get started in photography or videography, and this is the ideal lens to bulk up your arsenal of lenses. I personally absolutely love the look of vintage lenses, and recently I've been looking at buying more vintage lenses. So if there's any that you know of in particular that you think I need to buy, comment it below. Now that is all for this video, but if you would like to see me review and look at other budget photography and videography products, then let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.